Hi, I'm having a book clear out, so that's why all these are here. So, Deadpool and Wolverine is the third film in the Deadpool franchise. You could also kind of argue it's a sequel to Logan. It's the 34th Marvel film, at least according to Google. It stars Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Emma Corrin. It was directed by Sean Levy, and it kind of caps off the Fox X-Men franchise. It's already been incredibly successful, grossing over $1 billion worldwide. And bonus points here, part of it was filmed in Norfolk, where I live, and it features a local legend of ours, indie wrestling star and musician Mike Waters as the Blob. This is a show-stopping R-rated meta superhero buddy comedy that doesn't take itself too seriously, but I've thought about it for a few weeks, and if you look below the surface, I think there's a surprising amount going on here. Tonally, the whole experience is like if you were driving a tank, listening to Madonna, but you're on your way to save a kitten from a tree. It's kind of like that. I'm not going to go heavy on spoilers, but there will be some spoilers in this review. Deadpool tries to join the Avengers and fails. He then gives up on superheroing for 6 years, becoming a used car salesman, and his relationships fall apart. He is eventually recruited by the TVA and an agent named Mr. Paradox. He is then told that he can transfer to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the sacred timeline, and he decides that this means he is Marvel Jesus. The downside of this is that his timeline is dying and none of the people he loves can come with him. So Deadpool decides not to go for that option. Even though he wants to be Marvel Jesus, he cares more about his fan family, so he decides he's going to save his timeline. The timeline is dying because an anchor character, Wolverine, has died. Now, I'm not really clear on a few things here, like how did that universe survive before Wolverine was born? And also in Logan, the world has kind of become a dystopia where mutants are all but extinct and are hunted down. And in this film, it kind of seems everything's cool and Deadpool's a used car salesman and not that much has changed. But we'll move past that. Deadpool goes to a lot of universes to try and find a suitable Logan replacement who will come with him, and he only manages to recruit one. The one we are told is the worst Logan in the multiverse. Now, this was a bit questionable to me because I would have thought the worst Logan in the whole multiverse would be like an evil fascist or something, but we'll move past it. Mr. Paradox isn't happy with the Logan Deadpool's bought, and he promptly sends both of them to the void, like an inescapable place where characters basically go to die. And Deadpool and Wolverine have to team up and learn to work together to escape the void and then get back and save their universe, taking on the surprisingly powerful and quite terrifying Cassandra Nova. Her stick her fingers into your head power actually freaked me out a bit. I like the effect on that, and it was a freaky idea, and it works well thematically. They also have to defeat Mr. Paradox and stop his plan. So can they work together? And can the worst Logan find meaning in his life? The movie has themes of wanting to fulfill your potential and protect your family. Family is framed as the most important thing, whether it's found family or biological family. Family is quickly shown to be more important to Deadpool than being Marvel Jesus. There's also a strong theme of friendship. Deadpool and Wolverine can only defeat Cassandra by working together, very literally, and both of them help each other. Since I think this is primarily a comedy, let's talk about whether it's funny or not. The audience I saw it with laughed pretty much throughout. They were really into this film, and I laughed too. The jokes come thick and fast, but they mostly land without feeling forced. The CGI was a little bit rough in places, especially I noticed with Deadpool. However, it is better than some of the more recent Marvel projects. If I'm being entirely honest, I'm not sure the plot makes sense. I'm also not sure it needs to make sense. Deadpool was already meta, and now we've added time travel and multiverses on top of that. So like Rick and Morty, I think at this stage it's about is the film entertaining and does it have anything to say? The movie is definitely entertaining, giving me several geek out moments without feeling gratuitously fan servicey. The fight scenes are brutal and well choreographed. The buddy comedy element of this works incredibly well. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are BFFs in real life, and that really comes through. It's a lot of fun to watch the characters verbally and sometimes physically swiping at each other, and to be honest, I could just watch that for an hour and a half. This for me was the Marvel film I've enjoyed the most since Endgame. Some people will see this film as grown men playing in a sandbox with their collectible action figures, and that's kind of true to some extent. So does this film have anything to say, or is it just mindless fanboy fun? I actually think it does have a few things to say. Deadpool and Wolverine are both motivated by their family. Wolverine's change moment comes after a heartfelt conversation with his daughter Laura. With the multiverse at their fingertips, they can go anywhere and do anything. What they care about is getting back to their families. Deadpool even flat out says at one point, "Can we just admit the multiverse is not working for us?" I took this as a message that Marvel might be going back to more small personal stakes, which I think would be a really good move. But is it also that this edgelord superhero film is saying that family and friendships are what really matter? The conversations between Logan and his daughter, Deadpool and Wolverine in the cafe, Logan and Cassandra, Deadpool and Vanessa at the end, those are the bits that really stuck with me afterwards, that left an impact on me beyond, "Oh yeah, that was funny." Thomas Hardy said that behind every comedy is a tragedy if you look for it. And that's certainly true here, and you don't even have to look very hard. Both characters have succumbed to their fears. Deadpool really wants to be special, but he gives up everything that makes him special for 6 years. He gives up being Deadpool. Wolverine wants to be part of a family. He doesn't want to be a jaded alcoholic, but that is exactly what he has become. Both characters know they have potential, but they're kind of crushed under the weight of it. They can't rise to their potential. They're scared of fulfilling it. Now, this is a little out there, but stick with me. Plato had a theory of forms, the unphysical, timeless, essential essence of all things. Everything has a truest form. Perhaps I've gone off on one a bit, but to me there's a subtle suggestion in this film that characters instinctively try to get closer to the truest versions of themselves. Even if he plays dumb, Deadpool is smart enough to know that he's not really Marvel Jesus, but he is the truest version of the character that we are ever likely to see on screen, and that is something to celebrate. The real pleasure of this movie, at least to me, is getting to see Deadpool be fully Deadpool and play in the Marvel sandbox. That's what I always loved about the comics, and if that sounds good to you, you'll probably love this movie too. So to sum up, sometimes we want filet mignon with sauce béarnaise, and sometimes we want a cheeseburger. This film is a cheeseburger. It's not a Logan, it's not comic book films as art, but it is entertaining, it is funny, and it does have a few things to say about the universe in which it exists, and possibly on the nature of characters in a postmodern landscape. It also provides positive and timely messages on the healing power and importance of friendship, especially male friendship, at a time where men are increasingly finding that difficult, and also how family can serve as a moral anchor for us, a reason for us to try and be better. I do wonder how well the jokes and cameos will land on repeat viewings, but I suspect this film will easily pass the 6-laugh test years from now and will keep entertaining fans. Some people might see this as a meta fan servicey cash grab with nothing to say beyond butt jokes. But I think if you look at the space between the jokes, you'll find a fondness for characters, a desire to offer them healing. It's interesting to me that both the main characters can heal from almost any physical wound, but neither can heal from their mental wounds, and a suggestion that in a world that can seem pointless, and random and strange, we can find our anchor point in our friends and family. I may have thought too deeply about this one, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 with a caveat. If you are a big Marvel fan or a big Deadpool fan, I think this will likely be a 9 or a 10 for you. Let me know what you thought in the comments, what you thought of my rambling theories, what you thought of the movie. Did you enjoy it? Do you think there's some deeper stuff going on there, or do you think it's all very surface level? Yeah, leave me a comment, hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.